In 50 issues of NZV8 magazine, we've had 287 feature cars in total. There have been more black cars, 47, than any other colour, followed by blue, 45, and red, 43. We've had more Ford at 85, followed by Holden, 63, and Chev, 63. This is NZV8TV. Brought to you by Smith's Group, suppliers of leading automotive brands. Newlong, Maguire's, Spies Hecker, House of Colour. And GT Radials, superior performance, affordable price. What makes a cover car? This is the 50th issue cover car, and it's yellow. NZDRA young achiever Morice McMillin's getting loose in his funny car. And we sent our Cub reporter Josh to the GM Club Day. Check out what they were doing with their Holdens, and look at that, they're smoking it up. 50 issues of NZV8 magazine require a very special Maguire's cover car, and this is it. Well, I'm here with the editor of NZV8 magazine, Todd Wiley, and we're also here with this beautiful car. This is going to be on the cover of the 50th anniversary of NZV8 magazine, the beautiful yellow Plymouth Road Runner. Todd, I've got to ask you, what does it take to get onto the cover of NZV8 magazine?
I guess the thing we look for is a car that has the total package. Like, there's a lot of good cars out there. You see a car that looks nice, maybe the paint's nice or the wheels are nice or anything, or perhaps it's got good power but the exterior is kind of rough, whereas something like this here has the total package. It's got the looks, like it's flawless. It's got beautiful interior in it, and this one here actually has an awesome Hemi in it as well. So it's having the total package.
This is the 50th anniversary front cover of NZV8 magazine. Can you remember what car was on the first cover ever of NZV8 magazine?
I can. It was Matt Dukic's tubbed and blown Holden Ute, actually. So it's a pretty cool car now, even though it's still a few years old. In those 50 editions, though, you must have had some other favourites. Is there any one in particular that stands out? Yep, definitely, but it's hard to pick one. There's so many good cars. A few off the top of my head, I guess Brendan Tordoff's Sickfish Cuda, the Weeks Brothers Cuda, maybe it's a Mopar thing. Also, we had a 65 Chevelle Malibu SS pretty recently. That's cool, like as far as street cars go, just tough and raw kind of thing. I don't think every feature car, or every cover car, sorry, is good in its own different way, and I kind of appreciate them all for what they are. They've got to be above and beyond the average to be on the cover, so they're all pretty cool. So there's been a lot of effort going into making this engine actually fit in the engine bay. The Hemis are a big motor, and what people might not pick up on is the fact that this air cleaner has actually been modified by the guys at Moselle to sit down over the engine, so the bonnet itself didn't need to be cut up. Because as you see on the bonnet here, is a vacuum-operated air grabber system, which only about 50 of them were produced. That allows the bonnet scoop to actually open up when the engine's under load. The fuel injection system on the car came out of a place called For Hemis Only in Canada, and it's sort of been tuned up recently, and it's making around 900 horsepower. So you wouldn't first think that when you see it rocking past, you think, hey, that's a beautiful car, but you wouldn't suspect that it's got that much power underneath it. So again, at the back of the car, it's not about what you do see, but what you don't see. There's a lot of attention to detail in the interior, and yet a hidden audio system. And then there's LED lighting throughout the car, underneath the seats inside. There's lights everywhere. But they've all been done as sort of a soft start, like a late model European vehicle. Not something you'd expect in an old piece of American iron. It was around 1968 that Plymouth actually approached Warner Brothers to use the Road Runner character to market the cars. It was just a marketing ploy to get young guys and girls interested in these kind of cars. But one of the coolest offshoots is the old Road Runner horn.
Well, there we have a little bit of an insight into what makes a cover car at NZV8 magazine. Thank you very much, Todd. Any closing words?
It's 50th anniversary, it's a golden anniversary. What better than a golden Mopar to have on the cover?
Beautifully said, beautifully said. I'll look forward to seeing that on the cover of NZV8 magazine. Issue 50 is on sale this Monday and features some of the best feature cars ever, such as Brent Hyde's 900 horsepower Hemi Road Runner, an original GTO Phase 2 Falcon, the country's best lowrider Impala, and an insane space-framed GT1 Corvette race car. Actual pictures will not be moving in a magazine. The 50th issue of NZV8 magazine will also be showcasing the young achievers of New Zealand drag racing. This week it'll be Morice McMillin, a young 23-year-old who lets his foot do the talking.
I think I was about 4 at the time, and Dad took me down to Merrimere, the local track, and we watched a couple of cars, and then we happened to see the junior dragsters run, which at the time, being a little kid, I just thought, man, this is this is awesome, this is what I want to do. So for my 5th birthday, I got a chassis, and over the next 3 years we put a car together. So on my 8th birthday, I went and raced at the opening of Toka Road Drag Strip. We started this year, we've raced into lower classes the last few years, and then with the unfortunate accident for Tim in the Spider-Man funny car, the chassis, which at the time was damaged, came up for sale. Being good friends with Chris and Bob Tynan, we decided to buy the car, fix it up and go racing. We were 3rd in the New Zealand Championship this year for top alcohol, which for our first year out is a pretty good achievement, which was our goal for the year, which at the time we thought was actually an unrealistic goal. We had a couple of good breaks and a bit of consistency, and that kept us in there. It is a cheap sport to get into if you do it right. You don't need to spend big dollars. It is expensive, and to buy the gear does cost money, but comparable running costs, if you do it right, you can keep them down. The Northern Nationals, we must say we were pretty lucky. CJ, for not turning the air bottle on, really helped us in that first round, which I think CJ ran a 7.7 in first gear, which is probably the fastest first gear pass the country's ever seen, but thankfully for us, meant the buy into the final, so we were stoked for the first meeting out with the car to be in the final. The goal for the year was to run a 6-second pass at 200 mile an hour. That's something that in this country is a big milestone, and from that first meeting right through, it's been a goal to run 6 seconds at 200 mile an hour in my lifetime. To think that it could happen this year was a dream, you could say.
Morice McMillin, 6.89, the first 6 for the car, absolutely fantastic, 197 miles an hour. These guys are absolutely ecstatic.
Masterton, I think we did 6 runs that weekend, the slowest mile an hour wise being 197 and the fastest being 199.8. So we were that close yet that far away. You get a lot of the old, it's just a straight line, it's, how hard can it be kind of jokes, but until you've done it, you'll never understand. There's so much going on just besides steering the car. You got to be quick on the tree, which comes down to not only how the car's set up, how the driver reacts, how your pedal's set up, the arrangement that your pedal is, down to little things like that. Everything affects that reaction time. You've got to set the car up to react to the driver and to drive it how you've set it up. We have different areas where we set it up. I'm clutch backwards, whereas Ryan, my partner in the car, he's the motor side of things. So, but the key with these cars is setting the fuel system to your clutch. It's like being shot out of cannon. You're absolutely forced back in the seat. The computer on John Nealon's car, I think it was 3 Gs off the start line and 4 once you pulled the chutes, pushing your head forward the other way, which, that's times your body weight by 3, which is a lot of weight and a lot of force being put on your body. As soon as the car starts, all other thoughts, anything on your mind is gone. In gear, you roll through for the burnout, which we do in top gear. Back the car up, ensuring that you've got the car perfectly in the groove where your burnout marks are. You set your tyres back in those tracks. Provide the ultimate traction. It's a fresh lot of rubber. It's sticky. Hatch down. Because obviously in the funny cars we have a roof hatch. Tug on the belts just to get them a bit tight because you've kind of relaxed by this stage. You bring the car into the pre-stage, which is the first. You'll see the first bulb come up on the tree. Bring the car up to stage RPM. As soon as you see any flicker of light, you nail it, clutch off, which is when everything starts. You're nailed back in your seat. You're waiting till your shift light hit second gear, which kicks you in the arse again, and off you go. Same for third. As soon as you're in third gear, it's your right hand up to the parachute. So you're constantly steering with one hand. 60 feet before the finish line, you pull the chute. By the time your brain tells your hand to pull the chute, you're travelling that fast that you actually pass the finish line anyway. Once the car settles itself down, on the brakes, shut the motor down, and then just pull off and stick your eyes back in the sockets and get ready to go again. Everything slows down the more experience you get at it. We were lucky enough to be one of the more consistent cars this year. I think we logged over 40 runs in the season been, which not many cars of this volume get to do that in a year. And we went to every round. We made a couple of semis, a final, and as long as you're there and doing the rounds, that's how you gain points. Like every other Tobelco racer, we want to one day take that #1 trophy. We're buggered without sponsors. That's they keep the car running. The technicality side of this is also incredible. The amount of fuel we use, the amount of horsepower that we make, and the way we can apply it through the clutches and things like that. It's what I like.
Oh, yeah, we like it that you like it. In fact, our fans like it that we like it that you like it. Everybody's liking it that we like it that you like it. You are our young achiever, Morice. Well done, buddy.